All right. Good morning, guys. जोर से. Very good. Let's continue with our discussions, what we were doing in the last class. Yes, we're going to complete the basics chapter of today. A quick revision of what we have done in the last classes. We have spoken about the fact that when it comes to laws, you're going to talk about income tax laws. We started with our understanding in income tax laws, where we said you are going to start with article number 265. You're going to start with article number 265, which gives you the powers to levy or collect taxes. If you want to create a law, you have to go to article number 246, where you have to prepare three kinds of list. One is called union list, one is called state list, one is called concurrent list. State list will talk about any agricultural income tax. Union list will talk about any kind of other income taxes. Concurrent list will talk about GST related expenses. Yes, we have then split the items into direct tax and indirect tax. While I told you it is given in the book, the only one difference which is relevant to you is that direct tax is levied on income, indirect tax is levied on expenses. Levied on expenses. Then we moved on forward. We understood direct tax laws are split into six categories, not five. We are splitting them into six categories. Category number one is Income Tax Act 1961. Second is Income Tax Rules 1962. Then we have Finance Act. Finance Act is going to range from 62 till 2025. You're going to have 2025. And then we have circulars, notifications. Circulars are binding on only department. Notifications are binding on department and individuals assessees. We call it assessees. What is assessee? We'll discuss later. Yes, so it is binding on departments and assessees. Finally, we have something called case laws, where in India you have case laws going ranging from Supreme Court, High Court, income tax says ITAT, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, and then we have Commissioner of Income Tax. That is what we ended our discussion in the last classes. Yes, yes. Perfect. On that understanding, people, we are moving on forward to reading a little bit of income tax. We understood the definition of section 1 in income tax, where we said section 1 talks about nature, title, extent of income tax, where we said title is Income Tax Act 1961. Then we spoke about the extent. We said it is applicable to the whole of India, and we understood the definition of India as well, where India's definition is any states and union territory, any distance up to 12 nautical miles, any distance after that up to 200 nautical miles, 13 to 200 nautical miles, any underground, any underwater, any airspace, all are covered as a part of India's definition of. Yes, and then finally we understood the fact that Income Tax Act is applicable from 1st April 1960. Very good. It's applicable from 1962, while the laws are there from 61, but we say it is applicable from 1962. For your examinations of May 26, September 26, and Jan 27, the only Finance Act applicable to you is 2025. You'll be reading Finance Act 2025 along with me for the purpose of your exams. Clear? Yes? Very good. I'm going to open up the Income Tax Act for you people. I'm going to start by reading the charging section. The charging section. I told you in income tax, the charging section is not section 3, it is section 4. It is going to be section 4. So you're going to spend some time on charging section along with me, people. Once you do that, you're already done with the syllabus of. Yes. So let's look at what is the charging section. This is how my Income Tax Act looks like. Now, I did tell you that I'll show you the Income Tax Act once. So people, the book will look like this, a very boring English black white book. Yes. So if you notice, it says Income Tax Act 1961 as amended by Finance Act 2025, which means this document gets changed every single year. Every single year, this document will get changed based on the new laws. Yes. However, the act is going to be reading as follows. So you say section number 1, which is short title, extent, and commencement. It says it is applicable from 1st April. Although the act says it is 19, something is wrong here. Yes, we're going to hold back on the discussion. Section number 2, we spoke about people. Section number 2 starts with definitions. First item is called clauses. Section 2, 1 is clause, 1A is clauses. That is how we work on clauses. If you notice, people, I am at 2.1a. 2.1a talks about agricultural income. Yes, notice, no, 2.1a, this is called subclause A. This is called subclause A. In B, if you notice, people, in B I have one more item which is called item number 1. Very good. That is how the definition will look like. Yes, if you notice forward, I something have called provided, meaning this is a proviso. Technically, this proviso is an exception. It's an exception. Now, when you read a law, people, you have to be very careful on the placement of the law. Notice carefully, if I draw a straight line, where do you see the proviso? You see it next to C? You see it next to C, which means technically this proviso is an exception to full one, illa full C. Only C. It is only a proviso to C. Had I put the proviso here, if I would have started from here, then it would have been a proviso to the whole agricultural income. Yes, so your placement becomes extremely important. How you draft it is very, very critical. A small mistake from your side, I can make an assumption that the provided is for the full agricultural income definition, which is not the case. So be very careful on how the placement looks like. Clear? Under proviso, people, you see point number one, point number two. A proviso kulla point number one is called as ah, people. This is first proviso. In first proviso, there is point number one. This is called clause. This is called clause. No changes there. Yes. So proviso kulla also something is called clauses only, which means it is first proviso clause one, second first proviso clause two. That is how it works. That is how it works. So that is not going to change, people. Which means this is clause. This is again subclause. This is again subclause. Yes. Now if you notice, this is the subclause. Either kulla. This is, see how you read it now. Correct? Yes. So this is how the definition is going to look like. And then now if you notice, people, there is something called explanations. Now tell me, looking at this carefully, looking at the placement, explanation is for SIA for the full agriculture. See, if you draw a line, it comes here. Yes, which means this is an explanation for the full agricultural income. It is not for C alone. Had it been for C, it would have started from the proviso list, which means it should have started somewhere here. Yes, see how weirdly the placement makes a difference to you. Yes or no? Yes, that is how the reading of the law is very, very difficult to keep in mind. Yes, yes, good. With that, people, you have 1B and all those nonsense coming up. 2 is going on. Yes, this is your definition sections. And then we move on to what is called as the charging section of income tax. I'm going to say the charging section, you're going to read it for me, and then we'll discuss it together. Yes, so I'm at section number 4. I'm at section number 4. Some big English is given to you, people. Yes, we're going to read the big English together. Read the English. It says, क्या समझ में आया पता नहीं. Something is given. Something is given. Yes, some big 4 lines are given. I'm going to break the 4 lines into a little bit, and we're going to simplify the English for our purposes. Yes, let's look at this carefully. It says, where any central act enacts that income tax. Central act basically means union list. So they're saying when the union list is enacting income tax act, income tax shall be charged for any assessment year at any rate or rates, income tax at that rate or those rates. Basically, when a central act is created, it'll give you the rate. You have to charge income tax at that rate. You could have written it as one line itself. Yes, single word you could have written, unnecessary time pass. Yes, shall be charged for that year in accordance with and subject to the provisions, including the provisions for levy of additional income tax. Now, what is additional income tax? Not part of syllabus. It has been scrapped off. Yes, there is no more additional income tax in the whole law itself. It has all been scrapped off. Back in those days, we had something called buyback tax, dividend distribution tax, Egabata tax was there. All those have been scrapped off. Nothing is relevant right now, which means the box is not important. Yes, the bracket can be ignored off in respect of the total income of previous year of every person. If I have to put it out very simply to you people, it says when an income tax is created, you will be levied income tax at the rates in force on the income which is earned in the previous year by every person in the assessment year. In the assessment year, that is what the understanding is. That is what the understanding is. Yes. Now we'll break it open and we'll understand this carefully. But this is what the understanding is. Clear? Yes. Now I'm going to read the proviso, people. Let's see if you understand the proviso. Proviso says, provided that by virtue of the provisions of this act, income tax is to be charged in respect of a period other than the previous year, income tax shall be charged accordingly. क्या क्या people, they said you have to levy tax on previous year. Exception is coming and saying if you have to levy tax of any other year also, it's okay, go levy. It's okay, go levy. Basically, simple example. Imagine a case where what is happening is you're sitting at home, life maja chal raha hai, sab jolly. Yes, suddenly one day you get a knock on the door. When you open the door, there is suddenly 100 people sitting outside. Everyone comes and shouts, "This is a raid. This is a raid. आपके घर पे पड़ी है raid. We want to search a house. We want to search a house. They come inside the house. They start breaking open everything. They start opening the walls and all those things. Ajay Devgan movie. So we'll start breaking open everything, open the temples. All that shit will happen. Yes. At that point of time, people, if you realize, they suddenly broke open the wall and suddenly so much of gold biscuits came. Yes or no? Yes. इतना पैसा अपने भी चाहिए है नहीं बस. Yes. The point is very simple. Now imagine this example. Raid is happening today. Gold was found today. But obviously, people, gold was not earned today. You would have accumulated this gold for the last 50 years, which means technically, if I have to tax you, I have to tax you in the last 50 years or today itself. I have to tax you in the last 50 years, but that will become an issue for me. In which case, income tax is saying, even if the income is not of this previous year, it's fine. When did you find it? This previous year. When will you tax it? That is what the answer is. So they're simply coming and clarifying that even if you do not have income of this previous year, it's completely fine. If I found it in this year, I will tax it in this year. This is an indirect way of coming and clarifying that illegal income is also taxable. No matter when you earn it, I will tax it when I find it. When I Any doubts on this part? Yes. Subsection number 2. Subsection number 2 says, in respect of income chargeable under subsection 1, which means I'm referring to 1. I'm referring to 1. Income tax shall be deducted at source or paid in advance where it is so deductible or payable under any provisions of the act. Basically, they're saying TDS and advance tax payment, meaning either TDS can happen or advance tax can happen, either way of fine. Yes. Now, for me, for my purposes, only the first para is important. Correct. What does the first para say? I will levy income tax on your total income, which is earned in the previous year and assessed in the assessment year. Levy of tax will happen at the rates in force. Will happen at the rates in force. Clear, not clear? Yes. So I'm going to note this down, people, and then you're going to help me out. You're going to tell me what you do not understand. You tell me what you do not understand. We take it forward from there. Yes. So I'm going to note down. You're going to help me out. What is the law, people? The law is called income tax. Oh wow, आज मेरी handwriting अच्छी आ रही है. It's called income tax laws. We're going to start with what is called as section number 4, which is your very good, which is your charging section. And you don't need to write it, people. It's already there in your book, so it's completely fine. Yes, this PDF copy, once I prepare writing and everything, I'll give it to you also, so you can use it for your reference. Anyway, सब book में है, so only for दिखाने के लिए कि मैं अच्छा लिखा हूँ. Yes. So what are we going to say, people? We're going to come and tell that you're going to have something. So you're going to say, I am going to levy income tax shall be. People, close your books. Shall be charged on the total income which is earned by a person in the very good in the previous year at the rates in force. People, what do you mean by rates in force? At the rates in force and shall be assessed in the very good. This is what the definition is. Yes. So you have to write down the definition, people. This is a simple definition. Can you read the definition for me? It says income tax shall be charged on the total income earned by a person in the previous year and is in force and shall be accessible to the very good. This is what the definition is. Yes. Now I'm going to read this simple, sweet 3 lines and we're going to complete this one chapter off. Yes. The moment you tell me, Rahul, your 3 lines, I understood, I will tell chapter is over. I will tell chapter is over. So let's see if you're able to understand the 3 lines. Tell me, people, which of the words do you not understand? I'm going to start highlighting. अच्छा, ठीक है. You don't know what is assessed. Assessed means computed. बस all good. बाकी समझ में आ गया. हाँ हाँ. When you earn this year, it is this previous year. You earn next to that is next previous year. Anything else? बस assessment year समझा दिया तो chapter खत्म. I don't mind. People, I was supposed to spend full day on this. If you're telling me assessment, मेरा काम हो गया 5 minutes and I'm done with the chapter. Total income. अच्छा, previous year rates in force. चलेगा. You tell me Rahul पूरा 3 line, I'm fine. You just tell me which words. Income tax पढ़ लिया, 2 दिन से वही कर रहे हैं. What is income tax? Refer last class. Anything else? हो गया? Person नहीं पता. चलो ठीक है. Person. तुम्हारी खुशी. हाँ. Sorry. What do you want to understand in earned? Earned is a verb. Verb मतलब करना. हो गया. कमाई की तो earned. You want me to write down? I'll write down, but I don't have any meaning for it. हो गया? Anything else? Charge to पढ़ा ना. Article 265. Levied. Anything else? हो गया? One by one. Yes, ठीक है. We do the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do 5 words and we're done for the chapter. We're done for the chapter. एक एक करके tackle करेंगे. Yes, we're looking at first one, which is called as. मैं बताऊँ. Do the first one, which is called as person. Called as person. Yes, person. सिर्फ एक को नहीं पता था, बाकी सबको समझ में आ गया. It seems. What is person? Human being. Individuals with an S. एक बस है, सब चाहिए. You have to earn alone or you want group to earn together. अच्छा, तो individual. हाँ, individual. हाँ, other organizations. हाँ, individuals, HUF, companies with an S. Company. People English. हाँ, 3. Body corporate. People, shh, listen. I know corporate means artificial entity. Body means body. How do you match both? Non-organization. Non-profit organization. Non-organization என்ன அர்த்தம்? NPOs. NPOs tax கட்டுறாங்களா? Individual and what is business entity? HUF, company, firm. Firm includes LLPs. Firm includes LLP. Next. Safe individual. Company is not paying tax. Corporate tax अलग सब्जेक्ट है, मैं पढ़ा हूँ वापस से. हाँ तो okay, just to clarify, there is no concept called corporate tax. Okay, income tax is a big scope, covers everything. In India, we don't have multiple taxes. She's rightfully right. Yes, when you go to other countries and all, people in other countries, taxes are divided. We have something called corporate tax, we have something called personal tax, we have something called gift tax, we have something called capital gains tax. Various taxes there in other countries. India says no confusion. I cannot have multiple laws. One law is enough, which means in this law, I will cover everything. I'll cover, keep on those lines. So companies also included. I would assume it is included. Next. I'm hearing the same things again and again. Individual, HUF, company, firm. Joint ventures. அப்படின்னா two people coming together, shaking hands. How will they set up? Company தானே. அப்போ company தானே. அப்போ என்ன joint venture? When you join hands, when you make something and then you leave off, JV is technically a company only. You establish yourself as company only. Module 3, consolidation FS. तुम लोग को नहीं हुआ, उसको हो गया. नेक्स्ट, इतना ही है. Okay. So if I'm understanding this carefully, I have someone called as a person. In a person, I have identified person as individual. Next, HUF, firm. Acha, firm, company. That's all. These are the only people who will pay tax in India. Associations. Kya? ICI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. People ICI pays tax. Yes. क्या तुम्हारे एग्जाम फीस पे? Does ICI pay tax in India? ICI is exempt from tax. It's fully exempt from tax, which is why people they are extracting money from you, because whatever you pay for them is fully exempt. Fully exempt. They don't pay a single rupee tax in India. They're completely exempt from tax because ICI was established under a Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Yes. So you when you register for this course, they'll give you a prospectus जो तुमने कभी खोला ही नहीं है. Yes, that prospectus will come and say we are established under Chartered Accountants Act 1949 by an act of government, and therefore they have told that we are fully don't pay a single rupee tax. Next, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. People, if you go back to your first foundation, chapter number one, Contract Act, I think so. हाँ, ठीक है. वन में क्या है? हाँ, तो chapter number one, which is relevant for your exam. Chapter number one, relevant for your exam, Contract Act, would come and clarify what is person people. Person is the same throughout every act. Throughout every act, it does not have individual HUF firm and a company. It also has AOPs. Yeah, AOPs, Association of Persons. It's not associations, it is Association of Persons. You also have something called BOI, Body of Individuals. You have Body of Individuals. You also have something called AJPs, Artificial Juridical Persons. Artificial Juridical Persons. ये सब है बुक में, खोलोगे तो मिलेगा. मेरे को पता है मैं देखा हूँ बुक. I would not tell you otherwise, people. It is there in the books. Skip कर दिया बस और कुछ नहीं. Right? So we have the kind of persons. The persons are individual HUF firm companies, AOPs and BOIs. We have AJPs, and for income tax purposes alone, we have something called as local authorities. Local authorities. If you notice this carefully, people, I am in global, I am in central law. Yes, Apo, for a central purpose, even state government is a different party. Apo, when state government is collecting from you municipal tax and all those things, technically for state government, that's an income. Apo, central law will come and say, I want tax on that also. Yes, it's a different conversation that today they are fully exempt. Today they don't pay a single rupee tax, but in case in the future they want to collect, they can collect it from local authority also. Therefore, the persons given to you are individual HUF, firms, companies, AOP, BOIs, AJPs, and local authority. Very good. Help me out one by one, people. What is an individual? Single person, like unmarried. Human being. Natural person. मतलब पर्सन जिसमें एफर्ट नहीं लगाओ. नहीं, आई मीन नॉट दैट वे बट ओके. What's an individual? Quickly. What's an individual? A person running a business is an individual. मतलब only if you run a business you're an individual, वरना तुम देख में हो ही नहीं. Go forward. People quickly, don't waste time. जल्दी से. Anyone else? Individual is examples. Examples. People, imagine a case where what has happened is there is a dog show going on. यार ये कुछ भी नहीं बोला मैं. छोटा सा dog show is going on. Yes, People imagine there is a dog show going on, and there is this. You've seen these events and all, no? Where you'll take your dogs. Dogs will go jump the fence and all those things. हाँ, so वही बोल रहा हूँ और क्या सोच रहे हो तुम? Yes. So there is a dog show going on, people. I had a dog. I had a dog. I've taken this dog for this dog show. The dog has gone and he's jumped a few fences. He has shown some tricks and everything, and he has won the first place. Because of that, the organization has decided that they will give my dog 1 year free supply of pedigree. 1 year free supply of pedigree plus 10 lakh rupees to me to maintain my dog. I should not use it for my purposes. I should only use it for maintaining the dog. Question to you: income, not income. Income taxable for taxable for why? People pedigree पे मैं क्या टैक्स भरूंगा? What if I don't collect 10 lakhs, only collect pedigree? Oh, so income in kind is not taxable. We just discussed that day, people, gifts and all. Prize money is the same thing. गिफ्ट में क्या चाहिए तेरे को? तुझे क्या मिला तो तू देखेगा अच्छा लगेगा. Dog is not an individual. Apa, what is an individual? Human beings. Human beings. Okay. So in this case, the dog is not taxable. The taxable person is. हाँ ठीक है, my dog. ठीक है, हाँ चलेगा. Yes, yes. Example number two. Example number two. This is not Rahul, by the way, just to clarify. Someone else has a kid. छोटा बच्चा. Yes. मेरे को पता है ना. Yes. Someone else has a kid, people. Now this time it is not a dog show. This is a baby show. Yes. The baby show is basically that the cuteness award. You would have seen in Friends. You would have seen it in Friends. हाँ, ये बोलूंगा तो याद रहेगा. Yes. So you have seen it in Friends, people. Rachel has a kid and she takes the child to a beauty contest. And so the child won the first place. Yes, because the child has won the first place, the beauty contest team has given the child, let's say, 10 lakh rupees. Let's say 10 lakh rupees taxable for. क्यों भाई टैक्स नहीं है? गिफ्ट पे कौन टैक्स नहीं लेता है? फिर कौन बोला गिफ्ट टैक्स नहीं है? Taxable for why? People, child, छोटा बच्चा, human being. Human being, not a human being. Human being, individual, not an individual. Appa, who should pay tax? Child only should pay tax. Minor does not pay tax. Sure. A whose is it income? ಯಾರೋட income? Child's income, amma will pay tax. How amma? On behalf of child, she's acting agent. Acha. So same example, people. One is a dog, one is a child. In a dog case, not an individual. In a child case, दोनों में इंडिविजुअल है. डॉग इज ऑल्सो एन इंडिविजुअल. हाँ तो बस यही तो चाहिए. ऑल मेंस आर डॉग्स. नो, नॉट माई स्टेटमेंट, ही इज टेलिंग मी दैट. वही मेरे को बोला. करेक्ट. नो, क्या फर्क है बच्चे और कुत्ते में? दोनों ही पैंट गिले कर रहे, क्या कर सकते हैं? यस यस पीपल, विच वन इज एन इंडिविजुअल? Second one is an individual. The first one is not an individual. Okay, people. Example number three, that Tamil movie came, no, the Rajnikant robot Endiran. Yes, the robot Endiran Chitti movie. Yes, the Chitti movie. In that Chitti movie, people, imagine what has happened is I have the Rajnikant has gone and told his lookalike the robot that you go to a shop and you start. There was this one event, if you remember, people. Aishwarya Rai's some wedding ceremony was going on. Yes, Chitti goes and he makes a lot of food and all. Yes, so pura food arrangement and all he will do. Yes, imagine everyone got extremely happy because of that, and they have awarded him 1 lakh rupees because those people do not know he's a robot. So they have awarded him 1 lakh rupees for the purpose of making the food items. This 1 lakh rupees received by Chitti is taxable for is taxable for Mr. Vasikaran or Mr. Chitti because Chitti is not an individual. People, last I checked, you are also made by. I don't want to go there बस और कुछ वो परियों की कहानी बहुत हो गई रियलिटी में कुछ और ही है यस कौन बच्चा इंसान है सो व्हाट इज एन इंडिविजुअल इंसान हिंदी इंग्लिश कंसेप्ट basically a human being is the answer then so which means a dog is not a human being a child is a human being a robot is with artificial intelligence what is required for you to be a human being हाँ एक साइड पे हार्ट बोलते हो दूसरी साइड बोलते हो पीपल आर हार्टलेस डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स पीपल एक तो बोलते भी हम लोग के पास हार्ट है फिर बोलते हो हमारे पास हार्ट भी नहीं है तभी तो कोई मिल नहीं रहा बस कोई what do you need to be an individual uh, you need an Aadhaar card to be an Indian citizen, not an individual. Apo, do I look at Mr. Donald Trump and come and say you are not human? Yes, law does not say anything. That's the problem. You tell me. You only led in foundation. No? फाउंडेशन में तुम लोग ही पढ़े थे जनरल लॉ तो तुम्हें पता होगा मेरे को क्या पता मैं तो पास हो गया no 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 people an understanding if I have to tell you is very simple an individual basically means a person with a sixth sense a person with a sixth sense. Obviously, people, when you look at a robot does not have a sixth sense. When you look at a dog does not have a sixth sense. A child is developing his sixth sense. At the end of the day, it will have it future, man. Will have it future. Man. Now, people don't come and ask me, Rahul. There is this movie called Planet of the Apes. Yes, Planet of the Apes. The ape is now going to have a sixth sense. He's doing better job than human. We have not come to that stage. We have not come to that stage. But just to clarify, people, which is why income tax says person includes individuals, HUF, and so on and so forth, which means income tax has confirmed to you that at this stage they may not be applicable. In the future, if you are able to prove that they have a sixth sense, might as well let them pay tax. Let them pay tax. They have used an inclusive definition and not a exhaustive definition. And not an exhaustive definition. Yes. So what is an individual people? Very simple. Basically, a person with that is what the understanding should be. Any doubts on this part? Good enough to go? Very good. Second one. What is a very good. People, starting today, I'm putting a ground rule on this class. When I ask what, I don't need full forms. मेरे को आता है. I've already learned full forms better than you. Yes, I have at least 5 years more experience on full forms with you, so I don't need full forms. मेरे को चाहिए what मतलब क्या? What is an Hindu undivided family? चलो छोड़ो. How do you create an Hindu undivided family? By मतलब है कितना चाहिए 1 रुपया 2 रुपया 10 करोड़ so my if my dad comes from so my dad always used to come and tell me this Rahul you are very lucky that you have been born in a middle class kind of family when I came from my city I came here with 1 rupee coin in my pocket tell me HUF क्यों 3 generations मेरे को पता है लगा ही था मेरे को 3 generations is it So if you are not capable enough to make a child, no HF for you. People, these are genuine medical issues. You should understand, no? Very honestly, people, it's not like everyone is capable enough, but take it. If you are medically unfit enough to have a child, can you never create a HUF? कैसे? What adopt? 3 जनरेशन अडॉप्ट करूं मैं? I did not tell you that is my kid. मैं अभी ट्राई नहीं किया रे, बता नहीं मेरे को इसलिए. Yes. Point is very simple, people. Question number one is, if you want to create an HUF, do you really need to have 3 generations? Is that something which is an understanding? No. Let's make it very clear. HUF does not need generational requirements. HUF does not need an ancestral requirement. HUF, if you have to ask me, is a dummy entity. It's an entity which is created only under Indian laws, does not have any existence in any other countries. HUF itself is a fictional concept. It's a fictional concept based on the rituals which we had in India in the past. To create an HUF in India, you only need one thing. Eh? You you only need one thing. Part of the, what is a family? माँ बाप, माँ की माँ, बहन, सब सब एक कर दे. People, to create an HF. See, yes, you can become a member of the HF by birth, no doubts about it. I'm not asking how do you become a member. I'm asking how do you create an HF. You create an HF by a simple marriage certificate. Very valid. You create an HF by a simple marriage certificate. You don't need any generations. You don't need any kids. You don't need any ancestors. It does not matter. It does not matter. As long as you get married and you take a marriage certificate and inform income tax department, I'm in the plan of creating a HUF. They will make it for you. They will make it for you. Now, people, HUF has no regulations, no requirement, no audit, no nothing. HUF is basically a fictional character created in income tax. It's a fictional character created in income tax. Income tax is the only one which handles HUFs, where they come and say, take a marriage certificate, produce it to the department, department will make it an HUF, and your matter is over there. Now, but the question is very simple, people. When you have to create an HUF by a marriage certificate, why would someone be taxing? First of all, why do you need an HUF for that matter? Because you're talking about income. Because you're talking about income. Income can be jointly earned. Income can also be individually earned. Yes. Now, if you're earning the income jointly, I can come and say my share is 50, your share is 50. I will each pay taxes. Validly enough. Why did you have to create an HUF? Very simple. HUF in India is nothing but a tax conduit. It's nothing but a tax conduit. Tax conduit basically means it's an entity which you can use for the purpose of saving taxes. For the purpose of saving taxes. Other than that, HUF has no existence in India. Absolutely no existence, no validity, nothing. Because logically thinking, if there are 5 members in the HUF, each person can decide how much share they have and they can pay their individual taxes. The fact that we are creating a HUF is only for one reason, is that it helps you save taxes. Therefore, in India, HUF is a very common idea, and every single Marwadi person has a HUF. The funny thing is, people in the same family, there are 10 HUFs also. Because if you think about it, for every HUF, you need one marriage certificate, which means imagine guy and a girl get married, they have a HUF. They have a kid, kid gets married, kid will have its own HUF. Kid will have its own HUF. The reason is very simple. If the kid is earning 20 lakhs, the full 20 becomes taxable in his hands. The moment he creates an HUF, what he can do? 10 for me, 10 for the HUF. The moment he says 10 for me, 10 for the HUF, 10 kilo I will pay tax, HUF will pay tax 10, and you will get a different benefit. You will get a different benefit. Therefore, HUFs purely help you for the purpose of tax savings. Yes. Now, just to clarify to you people, when Income Tax Act 2025 was being launched, there was a proposal initially. There was a very, very initial proposal to say we should want to delete HUFs off. They wanted to delete HUF off because they realized HUF is using for avoiding taxes. But then later on, there was a huge fight going on, and then the huge fight, people said, no, no, we want an HUF, and therefore they continued as it is. There is a proposal that in the near future, HUF will be deleted off because technically thinking about it, it does not have any legal validities. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. Now, as much as you know HF people, there are some things for you to keep in mind. When it comes to HF, there are two things which you would have learned in your CA foundation also. When a HF, there is a head of the family called as, very good. Apart from that, there is something called co-partners. But before that, there is one thing to understand as to what do you mean by a member. What do you mean by a member? You need to understand first things, people, that for me to be a part of HF, I need to first be a member of the HF. Only after I'm a member of HF, I decide whether I'm a Karta or I'm a co-partner. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. So I'm going to give you a diagram, people. You're going to tell me whether I'm HF member or not a HF member. Imagine an example. There is a person called Mr. Noddy, Moody. Imagine a person, there is a Mr. Moody. Now people don't come and ask me Moody तो नाम Indian ही नहीं है कैसे HF nickname है उसका. Yes. So imagine a person, there is a Mr. Moody and blood relations double underline. Yes. You have Mrs. Moody. You have Mrs. Moody. They have decided to create an HF. Tell me, is Mr. Moody a member? Is Mrs. Moody a member? Very good. Family members, who and all can be covered? Will father be part of your HF? You have to go down only. You can't go up. You'll go down, which means I'll have children. Let's say I have a son. Moody has a son. Member, not member? Member. Moody has a daughter. Member? Good. Son has got married. Wife. Member? Sure. Very good. Daughter has got married. Husband. Why? Who? किसके HF में? So wife, daughter should also go, no? Then daughter, why is daughter part of my HF then? पराया धन. वही पराया धन basically. Yes, yes. People, daughter's husband, member, not member? Not a member. Because, like we rightly discussed, what happens is, people, daughter was born into the family, but the moment she got married, she moved to another family. She moved to another family. As much as son's wife has become part of our HUF, our daughter became part of that HUF, which means we cannot bring the husband here. Now, don't come and ask me, Rahul, घर जमाई हुआ तो क्या होगा? मेरे को नहीं पता. I have never learned the concept of house husband. If there is a concept like that, I am not sure. Yes, I am not sure. It has not been defined in income tax. At this stage, income tax does not deal with house husbands, right? Which means, as per the understanding of income tax, the moment a daughter gets married and goes, she is still part of my HUF, but husband is not going to be part of the HUF. Are we clear? Yes. Similar logics, people. Imagine if the son and wife have a son. If the son and wife have a son, son plus wife have son, son generation 2. Member, not member? Member. Son and wife have daughter. Member? Sure? Good. Daughter and husband have a son. Why? But daughter is part of my family, no? Then people come and ask why feminist is an issue. So not a member. So son 2 is not a member. Daughter, daughter 2 is also not a member. Agreed? Agreed? People, imagine a case where I come and say the Moody and Mr. Moody decided that the son and the daughter which they have, dono nikam hai, wasteless people. Yes, and therefore they have decided they will like to adopt. So they have gone and they have adopted son. Adopted son. मेरे को नहीं पता. Blood relation. Why not? Why not? Why? सन की वाइफ कहाँ पे पैदा हुई थी? ए यू सेड सन्स वाइफ इज अ मेंबर, नो? पैदा किया तो उसको. मैं हाँ सी. अब मैं बोला तो मानोगे देख. Member, not member. Member. Yes. Adopted son, if legally adopted, is a member. Very good. Adopted daughter. Member, not member. Sure, huh? Is also member. Yes, this is what the understand. Now, obviously, people when I say adopted son, obviously adopted son ki wife, member. Adopted daughter ka husband. That understanding is already there. Yes, which means one thing I can make very clear to you. When it comes to HUF, you become a member for two reasons. Either you are born in the family. Cases are cases are HC. Cases are son, daughter, son, daughter. Yes, these are all people who are born into the family, or you are brought into the family. You are brought into the family. You're brought by two reasons: son's wife, adopted son, adopted daughter, and they're people who are being brought inside. Yes. Now, daughter's husband is not brought into our family because daughter is technically moving to the other family, and therefore they are not part of the HUF. Are we clear? Yes. So if I have to understand this carefully, I can come and tell you HUF basically means a member. A member is nothing but a person who is born into the family or brought into the family. Brought into the family. Correct? Huh? Yes. Yes. Now, people with this understanding, I already know my members. With me knowing my members, I want to know who is the karta, who is the co-parsoner. The very good. Don't have this understanding that only Moody can become a karta. It is very well possible that Mrs. Moody can become the karta as well. It is basically the elder member of the family who is alive. Who is alive at this stage. Yes, you may come and say the wife will always be younger and all, different conversation. But nevertheless, if that is not the case, then she can also become the karta of the house. At this stage, for convenience purposes, I am making Mr. Moody as the karta. I am for convenience purposes. My question is very simple. At this stage, with this happening out of the way, my question is who is the co-parsonus? Okay, let me clarify this before you start. People, a co-parsoner basically means a person who gets property rights. Who gets property rights, which means every single person after partition who is eligible to get a share in the property is called a co-parsoner. Now, is co-parsoner member the same? They are definitely not the same. Just because you're a member of the family does not mean you will get share of rights. Yes, you'll only get share of rights if you're a co-parsoner. How do you become a co-parsoner? Is Moody's wife co-parsoner? No, no, no. Is Moody's son co-parsoner? Very good. Moody's son is a co-parsoner. Is Moody's daughter a co-parsoner? Yes, he is also a co-parsoner. I'll come to that part. I'll come to that part. Yes, is she a co-parsoner? Answer is yes. Is Moody's son's wife co-parsoner? No. Is Moody's daughter's husband a co-parsoner? He was never a member itself, no doubts about that. Yes. Moody's son's son co-parsoner. Very good. Moody's son's daughter. Very good. This is what the understanding is. A Moody's adopted son. Fair enough. Moody's adopted daughter. If I have to put this to you people, co-parsoner is basically those people who are born in the family, plus adoptions. Plus adoptions. Basically, any person brought into the family are not co-parsoners. They do not get property rights. The reason is very simple because what happens is when they are brought into the family, tomorrow if there's a divorce, they're anyway going to get alumni from the spouse. They're anyway going to get alumni from the spouse. So very indirectly they'll get rights. Very indirectly they'll get the rights, but they do not have rights in the house, which means they cannot come and demand the rights in the house. That is what the understanding is. Any doubts on the understanding? Yes. So if you understand this carefully, people, when I talk about members, member is all those people who are born into the family or brought into the family. But co-parsoners are those people who are born into the family, not brought into the family. Not brought into the family. Any doubts on this part? Yes, yes. Now at this stage, people, you have to be very careful. If Mrs. Moody ends up becoming Karta, if Mrs. Moody end up becoming the Karta, will Mr. Moody be treated as a co-parsoner? Definitely not. Definitely not, because at that stage you only can bring one person into supervision. Yes, because Mrs. Moody has become a part of supervision. The people born under only can be taken into consideration. Yes, it does not mean that just because I'm a male member I have authority. Nothing like that. There is no such concept where saying male member will get the authority of the house. It is only based on you getting born into the family. Getting born into the family. Any doubts on this part? Clear? You're going to legally adopt them. No? So when you legally adopt them, it's as good as coming and saying they're born into the family. That's the difference. Okay. So situation is like this, where Moody ends up having an you don't need an affair and all people. Yes. Imagine a case where Mrs. Moody's second marriage. Yes, which means Mr. Moody was already married to someone else. And unfortunately the person passed away. Keep it Kim. Yes. Moody was married to someone else. Let's say Moody was married to Noddy. This is that Koi Mil Gaya movie. शाहरुख खान एंड कोई मिल गया है ना वो कुछ कुछ होता है हाँ कुछ कुछ होता है मूवी yes the same कुछ कुछ होता है concept yes so what has happened is Moody was married to Noddy and they had a kid question is can this kid ask for property rights in the new HUF इनका अलग HUF रहेगा okay he's not wrong you have to understand this concept carefully people understand this carefully imagine a case where I come and tell you Moody and Noddy yes in a scenario where Moody and Noddy already had a HUF at this stage, if Noddy dies, will the HF will the HF shut down? No, because there is already a kid in existence. When the kid is in existence, what will happen? The HF will remain alive. And when Mrs. Moody joins, Mrs. Moody will become part of this HF. They won't have to create a new HF then. They won't have to create a new HF, which means what will happen? Every person coming into the family will become part of the stepson because stepson was already part of the membership. Everyone else is now coming into the family. Everyone else is now coming into the family. It's a different conversation if you come and tell me Mr. Moody and Noddy did not have a head chef. Mr. Moody created head chef for the first time with Mrs. Moody. In that case, yes, there is a question mark. Even I don't know the answer, honestly speaking. I don't have an answer on that right now. It has never been discussed yet. Yes, in Indian cultures, stepsons and stepchildren are very difficultly discussed about. Very difficultly discussed about because 99% of the cases when that happens, traditionally the kid gets over emotional and leaves the family. Yes, every movie shows that only. Yes, you did not tell me कि ये मेरी असली माँ नहीं है. Yes, and they leave the family and go. Right, so that already happens. So therefore, maybe it's not discussed yet, but nevertheless, this is what the concept is. So and brings the child along. Fair enough. That's fine. Again, when Mrs. Moody is marrying, if Mrs. Moody is marrying, where was the HF created? At Mr. Moody level or after the marriage? उनका भी सेक you. People, so there was this so I don't know if you have seen this there was this very famous pandit the guy who comes on news channels Sanskar mein there is this very famous pandit okay he comes and talks about some shit and all he talks in life right so there was this one guy who went and goes and asks for him approach yes he was like sir I have a issue I have an issue the issue is like this what has happened is there is a guy there is a girl there is a guy there is a girl they get married yes I am their kid I am their kid. At one point of time, what happened is the woman was fed up with the guy, so she gave him a poison. So she gave the husband and me poison, and she ran away. Luckily, we both did not die. We both did not die. At this stage, what has happened is the woman end up marrying another guy. Now, because she's left, my dad also ended up marrying another girl. Another girl. Now, at this stage, we are trying to understand the blood relation. Yes. At this stage, what happens is the Pandit comes and asks, okay, now what is going on? He's like, kuch nahi, sir. What happened is the woman's new husband died. The husband's, my father's new wife died. So they have again come back and joined. So So they have come back and remarried each other. Yes. My question is, first of all, you knew you got poison from her. Are you stupid or what? You will marry the same woman who gave you poison. People, प्यार अंधा is understood. ये कुछ ज्यादा ही हो गया, right? Some weird conversation happened there. Now ये type conversation का answer मेरे पास नहीं है. Yes, I don't want to get into those kind of conversations. All these kind of issues, when it crops up before income tax department, there is only one answer. Go and approach the court, ask the court to give you an answer. If the court is funny like you, he will probably say yes. If the court says no, then तुम्हारा घाटा. Yes. So I can't give you answers to everything, people. Law does not define every exceptional scenarios. Clear enough? Yes. Once again, shh. If yes, true. That's what I asked. See, understand this carefully. If you come and tell me Moody and Noddy had a HUF, and before the son was born, if Noddy dies, then the HUF stops. Then it's gone. But if the son is alive, then what happens? One person dying in the family will not have a problem. The HUF will continue as it is. Yes. So basically, at any stage, there should be at least two persons alive. If you have two persons alive, I'll continue the HUF. Otherwise, the HUF will shut down. That is what the understanding should be. Are we clear on this? Any doubts on this? Very good. Now, in this understanding, people, what happens is, on this understanding, what happens is they have come and clarified there is two schools of Hindu law. One is called Dayabhaga school of law. One is called Mitakshara school of law. Now, what is Dayabhaga, Mitakshara? Not relevant to you. Basically, what happens is two states, one is West Bengal and one is Assam. These two states came and said, boss, until the Karta is alive, until the Karta is alive, co-parsoner will get not a single rupee in the house. Not a single rupee in the house, which means you cannot go and tell, Papa, I want to leave the house. The father will say, Ja, dafao. You will not get anything. You will not get anything. Whereas in any other states, the rule is that the moment you are born in the family, you have rights in the house. You have rights in the house, which means even if the karta is alive, you can go and tell, Papa, I want to leave the house. मेरे को चाहिए घर का हिस्सा. घर का हिस्सा. Every other state will give it to you except for West Bengal and Assam. Those are the two states where they came and said, Dafa ho to hona ho. Ja. I will not give you one single property value until I am alive. Which means in those kind of states, the only way you can get is by legal murder. People, legal murder is basically murder कर दो लेकिन किसी को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए. Obviously, people, if you murder someone, you get into jail, then what property for you? Right or not? So which means the person should die, but you should not be the culprit on this. Yes, that is what is called legal murder. But nevertheless, that is what a conversation you have to keep in mind. Any doubts on this? Good enough to go? Perfect. With that, people, we can close the balance of firm is basically, I know partnership. What is a firm? How do you create a firm? Group of persons. People, group of persons, group of individuals. A group of individuals coming together with an intention to make profits by acting in individual capacity or on behalf of others. On behalf of others, let's understand this carefully, people. When it comes to firm, the rule is very simple. You need to have an intention to make. Very good. You need to have an intention to make profits. Now, let me clarify this to you. The one small mistake in your accounts book is that it says two or more persons coming together to do business. That's wrong. It's not just business, it is business or profession. It's business or as a CA, you will learn that when you come to CA final and you qualify CA final, you will open a practice for yourself. And you can open a practice in the form of a partnership firm, which means what you will be doing is not business, what you will be doing is profession. Up what you create together is also a partnership firm. That is very well valid. Intention to make profits. People, I'm doing it for charity, not a partnership firm. Definitely not a partnership firm. Hey, what if I'm doing a group of persons coming together for charity purposes? I will move you to AOPs and BOIs. I'll move you to AOPs and BOIs, which means AOPs and BOIs is nothing but association of persons, body of individuals, which means more than an individual. If a company, firm, and all join hand together, we call it association of persons. But if only individuals are coming together, it's called body of individuals. Now, there is one small confusion in India about how do you look at a group of individuals and say whether it is partnership firm or is it BOI. Mutual agency. मतलब Even BOI can do it. Okay. What if my business itself is to give rent? I'm a person who has multiple houses and my job is to give you house for rent. Is registration mandatory? Last I checked, Indian Partnership Act says it's okay if you don't register also. Business carried on regularly is a firm. Once in a while किया तो BOI. No, no, no. People, it's not just you. Even India is not clear on this. Even India is not clear on this. India also comes and says there is no clear distinction between a partnership firm and a BOI. Basically, BOI is a garbage. BOI is a garbage. Garbage in the sense income tax comes and says if you are not a partnership firm, you are a BOI, which means you have to prove yourself to be a partnership firm. If you prove yourself to be a partnership firm, I will say good enough. If you say no, no, I'm not able to prove my partnership worth, I will say you are a very simple, straightforward. Yes, a best example I can give you people is imagine Rahul as a qualified chartered accountant is now a member of ICI. Is now a member of ICI, which means while it is not true, but I technically have ownership in ICI right now because as a member, I'm a party to the society, which means I can also make decisions in ICI while I don't have that much power, but so run. Yes, the point is very simple, people. When I am a member of ICI, ICI will be looked as very good. It will be looked as a body of individuals because in ICI, I have not been confirmed what is my partnership sharing profit ratio. I cannot go and tell ICI, sir, tomorrow when a student pays exam fees, 5% should come to me. That has not been confirmed by ICI. ICI comes and says whatever money comes will remain in the fund of ICI, which means no partners, no members, no individuals are getting any kind of profit sharing, and therefore ICI is a BOI. Very good. ICI is a BOI. Any doubts on this part? No. So for your understanding, people, ICI, ICSI, ICMAI, chartered accountants, cost accountants, company secretaries, all are body of individuals. All are body of individuals because they have not confirmed themselves to be a partnership firm. Have they confirmed themselves to be partnership firm? It would have been a partnership firm. So it's basically a residuary section. Residuary section. How do you differentiate between an AOP and a BOI? Very good. If your membership does not just have individuals, if you have other parties like an HUF, like a member, like a company, like an AOP inside an AOP itself, then you are an AOP. Then you are an AOP. Basically, your status will decide. If everyone is an individual, then it is BOI. If not, it is very well enough. That is what the understanding is. Any doubts? Good enough to go. Amul is a cooperative society, and yes, it is an AOP. Yes, yes. Next, what's an AJP? Formula, nahi full form. Don't give me a full form, people. Let's do one thing. When you don't understand something, I always tell you as a ranker, one rule is very simple. When you don't understand something, break the English. It'll make it easier. Yes, you have three words in it: artificial, juridical, person. Artificial means something which is not naturally made. Second is juridical. Juridical means made by the very good, made by the courts. Made by the courts, and person means person. In simple words, artificial juridical person means a person who has been established by the court, a person who's established by the court. A very simple example I'll give you, people. Understand, you have learned Companies Act. And in Companies Act, you have something called liquidation. Basically means winding up of the company. Now, when you're winding up a company, the courts have an obligation to appoint a very good. The courts have an appointment of a liquidator, which means the liquidator who's coming in and who's going to start selling the assets and liabilities of the company. He's technically not doing it in his capacity. He's not doing it in company's capacity because company is also shut down. He was appointed by a court, and therefore a liquidator is a very good. A liquidator is an AJP. That is what the understanding is. All the same. Yeah. Sorry. So if you understand this carefully, imagine companies have some assets. Companies are going to sell the assets. Who's going to sell it? Liquidator. When the liquidator is selling the asset, he'll sell it at losses, sell it at profits. He's going to make income. Someone has to pay tax. That is why I'm telling you he's doing it in AJP status. He's not doing it in his personal status, people. He's coming and saying my individual income is separate. But when I'm selling assets on behalf of the company, I'm doing it in the capacity of an AJP. Now, understand, when you do liquidation, even the liquidator will earn some money. as commission, that will be taxable in his personal capacity. He will come and say that will be taxable as my individual capacity, but whatever I sell on behalf of the company is going to be taxable as AJP status. Any doubts on this part? Yes. More of a final level topic. You learn it in final level more better. Right now, the understanding is AJP basically means artificial juridical person, a person created by the laws. A person created by the laws. Any doubts on this part? Good enough to go? Great. This means the last one. Last one says basically is your municipality. Basically, is your municipality. The ones who are collecting your water tax, house tax, property tax, profession tax, and all those things. Income taxes, they can also become taxable in income tax. However, at this stage, they are fully exempt. They have not been notified as a taxable entity. They can become taxable in the future. So just to be safe, I'm keeping them into my scope. I'm keeping them into my scope. Any doubts on this part? No? Very good. What are the list of persons, people? We have individuals, HUF, firms, companies, AOP, BOIs, AJPs. Very good. That is what the understanding is. Yes. Now, this is more of a theory question, has never been tested in exam, will not be tested in exam. Don't worry about it. Yes. You just need to understand what are the persons there, because as you move forward in this subject, you will realize that every single person is important, because every single person is dealt separately. Every single person is dealt separately. Individual have a different tax rate, company has a different tax rate, firms have a different tax rate. The only good news for you at CA interlevel is in CA interlevel, they're only going to test you on two persons. Person number one is an individual. This is more of your inter-syllabus. This is more of your inter-syllabus. And second is a partnership firm. Second is a partnership firm. These are the only two people you are going to be learning at inter-syllabus. Every other person will come at CA final. Every other person will be dealt at CA final level. At CA final level, they'll say individual is not important. They'll say I've already learned at inter level, so we don't need to learn it at final level. At final level, focus attention will go to, that's what the attention point will be. Any doubts on this part? Are we good enough to go? Yes? Good. Let's take 10 and we'll come back and discuss the balance of. Settle everyone? Yes. Good. So, moving back to the charging section, what have we finished off? We have finished off what is called as person. We have discussed what is called as person. Very good. Yes. Let me clear the balance things off, people. We have the balance things called as total income, PY, AY, rates in force. That is what we have for discussion. Yes. Let me make it simpler for you people. Rates in force. Next topic. Next topic. When we discuss the next chapter, whatever we discuss in the next chapter is called rates in force, which means nothing to discuss with me right now. When you start doing sums with me, whatever numbers you get in the answer is called full stop. That is what the answer is. Simple, straightforward. Yes. Yes. Let's tackle the balance three items. The balance three items being meaning. The okay. So if I have to conclude on what is per person, people, person is basically individuals, HUF, firms, companies, AOP, BOIs, local authorities, AJPs. Yes. When you talk about an individual is basically a person with a sixth sense. A human being with a sixth sense is called an individual. We don't take into scope any animals. We don't take scope any robots. We don't take that into scope. Children are individuals as well. Whether children will pay tax or not, different discussion. When we go to a chapter called clubbing of income, I will discuss in that topic. But yes, children are individuals as well. Yes, coming to a HF is basically Hindu undivided family, a group of Hindu people coming together and running a business or an operation. Yes, in that case, only one requirement, you should have a marriage certificate. You should have a marriage certificate. Having a marriage certificate, you can create an HF for yourself. How do you become a member of the HF? You become a member by either birth or by bringing into family. By bringing into family. How do you become a karta? You should be the eldest member of the family. How do you become a co-parsoner? Co-parsoner is the person who is born into the family, having property rights. Having property rights. A firm is basically a group of persons who are coming together with an intention to make profits under a business or a profession. When it comes to AOPs, BOIs, AOP, BOI is very simple. Any other person than a partnership firm is called an AOP or BOI. When I have other than individuals, it is called AOP. When I have individuals, it is called BOI. A company is what you already know, people. Company is a company under Companies Act. Full stop. Yes, a company under Companies Act is called a company. Nothing further to discuss on that. Then we have what is called as AJP. AJP is artificial juridical person, a person which is created by the court of law. A person created by the court of law is called as artificial juridical person. And finally, giving you what is called as local authority, all your municipalities. If you have a municipality, that becomes a person. Clear with me on this? Any doubts on this part? Good enough to go? Very good. Let's understand the last two topics, people, the topics of previous year and assessment year. We do both of them together. That is how the answer is always looked at. Yes. So let's understand this previous year and assessment year. And now is the time for me to conclude on the answer as to why do we have Income Tax Act 1961, whereas applicability from 19. Let's understand this carefully. Yes, imagine a very simple example. Today you are on 19th November 2025. Yes, on 19th November 2025, you're walking on the road, you found a lottery ticket. You go, you encash the lottery ticket, you have in your hand 10 crores. You have in your hand 10 crores. Income, not income. You have to pay tax. Agreed. Very good. Now the question is very simple, people. You have to pay tax on what? Income. You have to pay tax on? Very good. Now income basically means in accounts revenue minus. Correct, not correct. Yes. Now, if you understand this carefully, I have a lottery ticket. This lottery ticket, whatever 10 crores I receive, is my income or my revenue. Very good. It's my revenue on which I will have expenses. Expenses can be you are going to travel, you're going to buy the lottery ticket, you're going to spend the money, etc. etc. Now, at a later stage, I will discuss with you the lottery is not allowed for expenses, but just for hypothetical figures. Just for hypothetical figures, you need to decide what is your income. Correct? Yes. How will you know your income? Will you know your income on 20th November, 21st November, 31st December, 1st January? No. People, income basically means revenue minus all expenses you have incurred, which means I will need to wait for my expenses to accrue. It can happen today. It could have happened yesterday. It can also happen tomorrow. I need a cutoff. I need a cutoff is required. On that cutoff, I will decide what is my income. True or false? True. What is my cutoff? What is my cutoff? End of the year. My cutoff is. That is how you prepare accounts, people. You prepare accounts by coming and saying what is my revenue, what is my expense, arriving at my profit at the end of the. Correct, not correct? Yes or no? Which means, people, you will know your income at the. Very good. Now, when you're going to know your income at the end of the year, you will pay tax in the. Very good. Which means in the year in which you earn your income, you will pay tax in the. Apo, for you to pay your tax, you need to know how much to pay tax. Apo, you need to assess your tax. If you need to assess your tax, you're going to assess the tax in the year in which you pay the tax. You're going to assess your tax in the year in which you pay your tax. When are you assessing? Next year. Apo, next year is called. Very good. Now you are in assessment year. What are you doing? In assessment year, you are assessing your tax. In assessment year, you are for which year? Therefore, that year is called. Very good. Which means in income tax, we come and say the year in which you earn your income is your previous year. The year in which you pay the tax is called as. Very good. Clear, not clear? Yes. Now think and tell me this carefully. I am individual. For me, I will earn income in this year, pay tax in. For me, this year is previous year. For me, next year is. Agreed, not agreed. Now look from department perspective. A department kaga tax will come this year, next year. Department will get tax next year. Department will get tax, which means department is receiving data only in assessment year. Department is receiving data only in assessment year. Apo department is sitting in assessment year telling you, dear assessee, tell me how much did you earn in the on which I will ask you to pay in the. Apo I am getting data only in. Apo I will look at data only in. For income tax 1961. For income tax 1961, income was earned in 6162. Income was earned in 6162. Income was taxed in 6263. I am preparing. I am income tax department. I am income tax department standing in 6263 asking for data of 6162. Upon 6263, I am telling, tell me what is the tax rate for 6162. Upon I am preparing data as per 60 to 60, which is my, that is why income tax is 1960. Hey, that is why income tax is 1962, because who's preparing the law? Department. When department is preparing the law, department is looking at tax in 62 for income of 61. Apo he will give you laws in 62 for, therefore the act is 61 applicable from. Very good. आया समझ में, आया समझ में. Yes, which is why people, income tax has been drafted in assessment year language. Income tax has been drafted in assessment year language, because department is the one telling you what to do, but he is telling you what to do in assessment year for data of. Very good. Therefore, the previous year of 61, 62 is when you will earn income, but 62, 63 assessment year is when you will pay your tax. Apo department for the first time got the information in 62. Apo he started looking from 62, but I was earning income from 61. Therefore, I was looking from 61. He was looking from. Therefore, act is saying. Very good. Correct, not correct. Correct, not correct. Similar logic. Understand. I am in Finance Act 25. Finance Act. Finance Act 25 came on 1st of February 25, telling you that this is the data for the income coming up in this year. People, 1st of February 25 meaning starting from 1st April 25. Up 1st April 25 is the year in which you will earn your income, which means that is your previous year. Department will look at data only in assessment year. Up department will look at data in 26, 27. Up Finance Act will say applicable from 2020. बहुत ही बढ़िया. Yes or no? Yes. That is why there is always 1 year gap. The 1 year gap is because department comes and says, in February, I will tell you what assessee needs to do in previous year. In I will come and check you only in. Therefore, my data relevance is only assessment year. Therefore, it is applicable from 26. It does not mean that it is not applicable this year. It is just that department is not looking at it this year. Department is only looking. I am preparing data from. Very good. Yes or no? Apo for your exams, people, you are reading exam for previous year 25, 26, assessment year 26. बहुत ही बढ़िया. Yes or no? So when you're writing exam for May 26 and September 26, you are technically going to act like department. You're going to act like department. You're going to tell me how much tax to pay. When you're telling me how much tax to pay, you are acting in the shoes of the department. Apo you are more focused on assessment year, which means in 26, 27, what assessment year is going? Assessment year 26, 27, which means previous year 25, 26, for which Finance Act applicable is 2020. That is what the understanding is. That is what the understanding is. Because if you notice, Finance Act 26, which comes next year, that will be for previous year 26, 27, for which tax will pay in 27, 28. Up that time you are not the officer. You are the officer only for 26, 27, which means your previous year is 25. Very good. Any doubts on this part? Yes. Now you need to understand this carefully. I am in income tax. When I use the word year, I don't talk about your accounting years. Yes, you may have the stupid concept of doing July to June, Jan to December, and all those things. Income tax only works in financial year terms. Only works in financial year terms, which means I am talking about data from 1st April 2020. Very good. 1st April 2025 to 31st March 2020 is my previous year, for which I will pay tax in 1st April 2026 to 31st March 2020. बहुत ही बढ़िया. That is what the understanding is. Any doubts on this part? Yes. Which is why people, every time you read an act, you will notice that there will always be 1 year gap. The 1 year gap is not because of you, it is because of the department. Because department is looking at it 1 year later. Department is looking at it 1 year later. Now, do you understand this concept? Yes. But people, think about this. இருக்குது கொஞ்சம் confusing தான். Unnecessary waste of time. Yes or no? Hey, first of all, tell me, in assessment year also, will I pay tax or department pay tax? I will only pay tax. Apo, for me, both previous year is relevant, assessment year is also relevant because I am only responsible here, which means I am more attentive of this from previous year itself. I am not bothered about assessment year because assessment year is only to pay tax. Data is all being done in previous year. Apo, what was the point of confusing you with 2 years? Yes or no? Yes, which is what Income Tax Act 2025 came in. Income Tax Act 2025 came in, and Nirmala ma'am came and said, "What this confusion? I don't understand. Why the bloody previous year? Why the bloody assessment year? Let's make it 1 year. Let's make it 1 year." And therefore was introduced the concept of tax year. What year? Tax year. Now, income tax says there is no concept of assessment year. There is only one concept of tax year. There is only one concept of tax year, which means income tax says from 2025, you will no more use the word previous year and assessment year. You will only use the word tax year. And tax year is the year in which you earn your income. Full stop. Tax year is the year in which you earn your income. So from next year, I will simply come and say the year in which you earn income is called tax year, and that is what you're going to pay tax, not in the tax year, but in the next year. Full stop, katam. Yes. So we're using the same English. We're using the same English. The difference is now we call it previous year assessment year. Next year, we'll call it tax year next year. We'll call it tax year next year. At least समझने के लिए easier. It's easier to understand right now because we don't have to confuse ourselves. And here is where the funny thing will start. The funny thing is right now we say I am in previous year 25-26. I am in assessment year 26-27. From next year I will say I am in tax year 26-27. I am in tax year 27-28. I am in tax year 28-29. No confusion whatsoever. One is the answer. One is the answer. That was one of the reasons why this amendment was brought, why Finance Act or Income Tax Act 2025 came into existence. Logic remains the same. English has changed. That is what the understanding is. Are we clear? Yes. So you're going to keep this in mind, people, that when it comes to your exams, the May 26th, the September 26th, the Jan 2027 examinations, you are focused on assessment year 26, 20, which means previous year. Now, you were coming and asking me this question, Rahul, why is the Finance Act changing? Kya problem hai? Why are we learning new subject after Jan 27? Very simple. If you're going from Jan 27 to May 27, it now becomes assessment year 27-28, which means previous year 26-27, which means for previous year 26-27, you learned Finance Act 26. Finance Act itself changed. Finance Act itself changed, which means law will change, provisions will change, tax rate will change, answer will change, computation will change, subject itself will change. That is why your exams are relevant for 3 attempts: May 26, September 26, Jan 27. After Jan 27, you will have to learn a new thing. No doubts about it. Yes, which means for those people who are learning this batch along with me, had you been in Jan 26, the one exam which is going to come up right now, for this exam also, if unfortunately someone does not clear, he will have to come back to May 26 and learn a new subject because he would have learned Finance Act 24. You are learning Finance Act 20. That is what the understanding is. Any doubts on this part? No. So if I come and tell you that Rahul has earned an income, for example, if Rahul comes and tells you that Rahul has earned an income on 20th December 2030, Rahul has earned income in 20th December 2030. 20th December 2030 is my previous year. Is my previous year. Assessment year will be the 31, 32. That is what the understanding should be. Clear, not clear? Any doubts on this part? Sure about this? Pakka hai? Chalo. People, tell me if this English is right. Is this the right English? Oxymoron. Oxymoron. Why? Says current year and then क्या चल रहा है? Is this right? Not right? Is this right? Not right? कैसे? कैसे? हैं? 24-25 थोड़ी ना चल रहा है. 24-25. 24-25 is done, no? Today's assessment year. Hey, you are in 25-26, which is technically your assessment year for the previous year, 24-25. How is it current then? हो गया ना? For now it is previous year. Yes, correct. Once next, there is nothing called next assessment year. एक मिनट तू पहले सोच ले, ब्रेक कर ले, फिर बता. You're writing too many things, even I don't understand. सोच ले आराम से. हाँ, कॉन्फिडेंटली बोला तू. हाँ. हाँ. Gather your thoughts. It's okay. Gather your thoughts. People, is this right or wrong? Sure, huh? कैसे? हाँ हाँ, यही तो चाहिए जिंदगी में, ट्रस्ट ही तो चाहिए मेरे को. ये बाहर वाले लोग कर दे तो मजा आ जाए. People, let me prove it. Shh. Let me try. Let me try. Let me try. I'm trying to same. He's going to confuse. I'm going to confuse even more. Yes. Look at this carefully. Look at this carefully. I told you on 19th November 2025, you're going to find a lottery ticket. You're going to earn 10 crores. You're going to earn 10 crores, which means you are today earning 10 crores. Apo, today is my current year. Today is my current year. Yes, but when I'm earning 10 crores, this 10 crores is going to be paid tax in next year, which means today is also my previous year, which means today is my current previous year. बहुत ही बढ़िया. कौन? हाँ, मैं मना नहीं कर रहा, मैं उसकी बात कर रहा था. I'm coming to that part. Oh, listen. Shh. Shh, shh, shh. Listen, 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 listen. Now, if you understand this carefully, people, when I'm earning the income in the current year, my current year is current year. But when I'm earning income this year, I have to pay tax next year. Apo this year is also acting as the previous year, which means it is current previous year. Very good. Now, this year is also my assessment year for my previous year 24-25. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. So current year is also going to act as my assessment year for previous year 24-25, and current year is also going to act as my previous year for 25-26. Going to act as previous year 25-26 for assessment year 26. Hey, listen, 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 listen. Now, listen to the fact. Now, where he said previous year, is that a right word? Answer is yes. That is also a right word. However, his understanding is wrong. Let me put it this way. I am right now in assessment year 25-26 for previous year 24-25. If I want to know previous year 23-24, then for today, that is previous year, which means previous year will be 23-24. It won't be 24-25 because 24-25 is my previous year. It's my previous. Correct, not correct? Ah, obviously. Yes, yes. Now, what he said is right. What he said is right because technically even I use that English. Even I use that English, but we are professionals. We are professionals. We don't use the word previous year. Income tax uses the word preceding previous years. Yes. So when I use the word previous year, when I use the word previous year, I am saying 24-25. When I'm using the word preceding previous year, I'm using 23-24. Very good. But that is what is not your exam. No. Your exam is for assessment year 26-27. So for your assessment year 26-27, your previous year is 25-26, your preceding previous year is 24, which means he is right. Just that he's previous year is 24-25. Only if you look from 26-27 perspective. Correct? True. Which is true. Now, if you look at this from a department perspective, if you look at it from a department perspective, this year is my assessment year 25-26 because department is now more interested of what tax it will collect for 25-26, which basically means previous year 24-25. But you are not writing exam this year, you're writing exam next year. So when you are writing exam, that is assessment year going on. When are you writing exam? May 26, September 26, Jan 27. With that three understandings, your assessment year will be 26-27. So your previous year will be 25-26. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. So it's basically, let me put it this way. When you're learning the subject with me right now, you are in the previous year. When you're writing your exams, you are in the assessment year. That is what the understanding is. Huh? You will have to mention assessment years. Now, this is what I'm clarifying to you people. When you enter your exam hall, the exam hall question paper will come and say compute tax for assessment year 26-27, which means they will ask you to compute income for previous year 25-26. That is how your chapters will look like. Your paper itself will look like that. That is why if you open my book also, people, my book, if you open the first page, the preface will come and tell you it is all applicability from May 26, September 26, Jan 27. Correct? But if you go forward, there is one big image you have. This one. You have this image. You have this image. Notice this carefully. Look at part number 3. Look at part number 3. Part number 3 says rate of income tax applicable for relevant financial year. Relevant means you. For your relevant financial year, it is 25-26, which is assessment year. Very good. Yes or no? Yes. So when you're learning the subject, you're learning the subject in the previous year. But when you're applying the subject, you're applying the subject in assessment year. You're applying the subject in assessment year. Now be careful. There is no concept called next year. Not yet. Not yet. We have not come to that part where next year has come into picture, which means for your exam, there is only one thing. Assessment year 26-27, previous year 25-26, preceding previous year 24. That is what the understanding should be. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear enough to go? Yes, very good. Now, let me close with this by telling you only one thing. Understand this carefully, like I clarified to you. Year always in income tax means April to March. April to March, which means that is what the only financial year we're going to work with. Income tax does not appreciate any other financial year because income tax wants consistency. Every single person in India should pay tax as per financial year terms, is what income tax is confirmed, which means if Jitu Bhaiya or any other accounts faculty is coming and telling you, beta, let's prepare data for July to June, you will prepare it. No problems. You can prepare your accounts however you want. But the moment you're going and paying tax, income tax will say your accounts are useless. Prepare new accounts. Prepare new accounts. This new account should be from April to March, which means in India, a rule unsaid given to you is that you should follow April to March. Following a different financial year is only adding your burden because then you'll have to prepare two different financial years. You'll have to prepare two different financial years. Now, people, as much as you would have learned in Foundation Companies Act, there is a concept called year in that, where it'll come and say financial year means April to March. However, if you're a subsidiary of a foreign company, by rules of consistency, you can apply different financial year also. Yes, that is the concept in Companies Act. Has nothing to do with income tax, which means even if Companies Act permits you to do Jan to December, July to August, it does not matter. I only want April to March. I only want April to March. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear enough to go? After September, after January, last 3 months. So Companies Act also has this additional condition where it comes and says if you are following Jan to March, basically if you're incorporated in the last 3 months, then in that case they will say you will exclude this financial year and add it to the next financial year. Yes, it's not a concept in income tax. Doesn't matter. Income tax comes and says I want April to March, which means even in that scenarios, income tax will say prepare accounts for 3 months. Prepare accounts for 3 months. Next year should not exceed April to March. At no point of time can you exceed the period of 12 months. If you are, income tax will deny it. Income tax will deny it, which means income tax is right now currently fighting with every law. Companies Act, LLP Act, it does not matter. Income tax says I want April to. That is what the understanding is. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear enough to go? Perfect. With that understanding, people, let's keep this one thought in mind. What am I coming and telling you is previous year is basically the year in which you earn the income. Your previous year is going to be the year in which you're going to earn the income, whereas assessment year is going to be the year in which you pay the tax. So when I look at previous year, you have to always follow April to March, which is financial year 25, 26. Very good. So previous year is the year of earning. And for your exam, this becomes previous year 25, 26. Very good. Assessment year is basically the year in which you. Yes. Now let me clarify this very carefully. People, for those who remember when we did charging section, there was a second subsection which came and said you can also pay TDS, advance tax and all. Now for those who understand this, TDS happens in previous year because the moment I pay the money, I have to do TDS. Yes or no? Does that change the fact? No. Understand, when you pay TDS, it does not mean that you have lost the money. It is just you giving money in advance. Yes. Tomorrow, imagine a simple example. I have come and paid you 1 lakh rupee for your income. On this 1 lakh rupee, you asked me to do TDS. I deposited 10,000 to government. Kal ko jaake, when you prepare your statement, you go and tell, sir, 1 lakh was never my income. 1 lakh was my revenue. 1 lakh was my, on which I have expenses. After I deducted all my expenses, I'm technically making a loss. When you're making a loss, tax becomes, in that case, you will go and tell department, sir, my assessment tax is 0, but Rahul already did TDS. I want refund. I want. Will government give it to you? Will have to give it to you. Will have to give it to you, which means, understand, just because you do some TDS or advance tax in the previous year, it does not change the fact that your previous year and assessment year is the same. Your previous year will be the year in which you earn income. Assessment year is the year in which you assess your taxes. Assess your taxes. After you assess your taxes, you can decide whether I paid something in the prior year or I have to pay some more right now. I have to pay some more right now, which is why assessment year is not the year in which you pay tax alone. The understanding is that assessment year is the year in which you confirm your tax liabilities. Confirm your tax. Very good. So assessment year is basically going to be the year of confirming the tax liability. Confirming the tax liability, which for your exam is going to be assessment year 26, 27. Which is why, if you remember, people, when I went and I asked you that if you're going for an interview, the problem what will happen is when you join an interview next year, imagine if you clear in September. Yes, you will complete your exams by October. Sorry, you'll get your results by October. November is the month you'll be going for interviews. Now in November, what is happening? You are still in assessment year 26, 27. But by then, the Finance Act of 2026 is launched, which means the person conducting your interview also knows what is previous year 26, 27 data. Yes or no? That is where the problem starts, because on that date, two things are happening. You are assessing your tax for previous year 25, 26. You're also planning for assessment year 27, 28, which is why, people, when you go for an interview, you should be very clear on asking the person, sir, what do you want? Do you want data of my assessment year 26, 27? Because I have information, I have read it for my syllabus. But if he says, no, no, I want data of assessment year 27, 28, that's when you have to come and clarify that I have not read it as a part of my syllabus, but I'm interested to do so. If you let me know where the book is. Where the book is. Are we making sense? Yes. So never go for an exam and give answers. Sorry, never go for an interview and give answers directly. Yes. A smart trick I always tell people is that if you're giving the answer in the first go, it is going to be wrong, because the person sitting on the other side has more experience than you. He knows where to trick you, where to ask you wrong questions, which is why every time a smart person who's going for an interview will always ask questions first. Will always ask questions first. I'm not sure how many of you have seen, people. There is this show called Spell Bee. What happens? They will give you a word, you have to spell it out. You have to spell it out. Now you see, people, a lot of students will come. A lot of students will come and they'll come and say, can you give me any alternate definition? Can you tell me what is the meaning of it? Hey, by telling you the meaning, will you know the English? Still asking, no. That takes time to stall. Very simple. That guy needs time to remember what are the words, what are the letters. So what he does, he asks additional time. By the time the person completes definition, he on his mind has realized what are the letters. It's a very smart way of doing things. Yes. Now, the other person cannot say no, although he knows it is not useful, but he will still give you the definition because you asked for it. You can't say no. At this time, this guy on the back end has already decided, okay, these are the letters, so I can spell it out. Yes. A smart way of answering things is to ask more questions. The more and more you keep asking questions, the more and more time you get to gather thoughts. Yes. Because the problem, what happens is at a certain point of time in an interview, there is a complete silence. The silence is because he asked a question, you don't know the answer. You are sitting and sweating there कि मेरे को आंसर नहीं पता, मेरा इंटरव्यू फेल हो जाएगा. Yes, at that stage, if you just ask two more additional questions, it may not be relevant, it doesn't matter. It's a curiosity question, and he has to answer it because you've asked it as a student. He has an obligation to give you the answer on that. Ask two curiosity questions. By the time he answers, you have time to gather thoughts, you give the answer, and you close the answer there. After that also, if you don't know the answer, it's okay, play the political route. But always be smart people, because sometimes a interviewer like me will always give you the most trickiest question, which means the first answer you give is always going to be wrong only. Yes, unless you get the right facts out of me, you will never get the right answer, and that is something which I have always promised to myself. Right? You will see it in the class. So when you go for the next topics and all, every time you give me an answer, I'll first come and ask you, "तूने ये पूछा क्या?" If you have not asked me that question, every single thing you'll do will be wrong only, and that is why the red pen, because self-satisfaction. Yes, yes, the sadism in me is huge, amazingly huge. Yes, you ask the right questions, you will miss out the red pen. But if you don't ask the right questions, every single thing will be struck off. That is one thing which I can promise you from the next class. देखेंगे मजा आएगा मेरे को. Clear? Yes, yes. So let's understand this carefully when you talk about previous year and assessment year. Previous year for your exam is 25, 26. Assessment year is 26. Very good. Help me out, people. I want it in date format. I want it in date format. Starting date. First date is 1st April to. Very good. Next one. Good. Now you're going to keep this in mind, people, because I'm going to ask you questions. Yes, the question is very simple. I told you Rahul has earned lottery income on 19th November. Rahul has earned lottery income on 19th November. Tell me, what is my previous year? What is my assessment year? My previous year is 25, 26. My assessment year is 26, 27. Tell me my date format. 25. Today. Rahul got a lottery income ticket today, 19th November 2025. Tell me my previous year date format. Date is 1st November. My 1st November. First, people, will it change? No. Hey, Rahul is not earning lottery for the first time. Even if Rahul is learning lottery for the first time, you think Rahul was sitting jobless for the last April to May? Which means Rahul was earning number nevertheless. Yes, lottery is not my first source of income. Apo, there are other sources of income on which Rahul has to pay tax. Which means data is always going to be 1st April. Data is always going to be agreed, not agreed. Yes. Now imagine if I give you a question and I say a company was incorporated on 19th November 2025. A company was incorporated on 19th November 2025. Tell me my previous year. Tell me my previous year, 25, 26 or 26, 27. My previous year is 25, 26. My assessment year is 26, 27. Tell me this carefully. Will I have a previous year 24, 25? Why? There is no company in existence. So 24, 25 is out of the scope, which means my first previous year is 25. Very good. Give me the date format. 1 month, one by one. Company is a separate legal entity. When did it come into existence? What happened before that? My previous year will be 19th November 25 to 31st March 26. Because understand this carefully, when I'm not even alive, what are you going to ask me to pay tax on? Yes or no? I cannot be asked to pay tax on things when I don't even have an existence, which means my existence comes from 19th November. My tax becomes applicable from 19th November. But understand this carefully. When I am applicable for 19th November 25, for this previous year, you told me, yes, 19th November is my start date, 31st March is my end date. For the next previous year, my start date will be, which means the problem is only on the first year. In the subsequent years, anyway, it is going to be April to March. There is no problem there. Problem starts on first year of incorporations. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. So income tax very simply comes and says previous year basically means the financial year in which you earn your income. In a date template, it is always April to March. But if you have come into existence in the middle of the year, your previous year will be date of incorporation till. Very good. Any doubts on this part? No. So on the same lines, people, imagine if I come and tell you that my company was incorporated on 1st January 2026. Huh. My previous year and assessment year. My previous year is 25. My previous year date format is 1st January 26 to 31st March 20. Very good. My assessment year is 1st April 26 to 31st March 20. Now, people, I want you to notice this carefully. Whether I incorporated the company on 19th November or I incorporated the company on 1st January, my previous year is changing, but my assessment year is always the. No matter what I do, my assessment year will always be April to March because that is simply the year in which I am paying my tax. It has nothing to do with when I was incorporated. Agreed. Yes. In that case, people, it doesn't matter what are you doing in previous year. I am more bothered about assessment year because assessment year is always period of 12 months. Is always for a period of 12 months, which is why people, when you read the assessment year definition says period of 12 months, full stop, which means they have clarified that it cannot be more than 12 months, it cannot be less than 12 months. But when it says previous year, let's say a period which may or may not be 12 months. When they say may or may not be 12 months, it means it is 12 or less. It can be less than 12 months also, it does not matter. Does not matter because you are existing only for limited amount of time. Correct? Yes. People, same. I am telling you, I am incorporated on 28th February 26. Tell me my previous year date format. 28th February 26 to 31st March 26. My assessment year is 1st April 26 to 31st March 20. Very good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People question. I am incorporated on 31st March 26. बताओ मेरा previous year. तेरे को कैसे पता? अर्न क्या चाहिए तेरे को? बिजनेस में अर्निंग होनी चाहिए. I incorporated today. I can't have earnings today. True. First April 26. You're bringing next year into consideration. One by one. Give me the date format. 1 second. 31st March 26. End date to 31st March 27. Okay, what is my assessment here? 1st April 27, 31st March 28. Okay, this is what she has mentioned. How many of you don't agree? Why? No, so she is telling, no, if I understand this properly, what she's done is she's taken the last day and she's added to the next year. क्यों? A previous year can be for a period 12 or lesser. The moment you added the 1 year next day, 1 day the next year, it became 30 to 12, sorry, 12 months and you've exceeded the 12 months criteria. So this is wrong. Give me another option. 31st March 26 to 31st. 31st March 26 to 31st March 26, 1st April. People, how many of you don't agree? कोई भी नहीं? All in favor? Unanimous vote. How can you have a start date and end date the same? Very good. He's actually right. People, when I say start date and end date, when did I tell you that it has to be a day? It can be in terms of time also. It can be in terms of time also. I can say 31st March 26 when I incorporated the company, it was 10 a.m. And when I'm closing my day, it is 31st March 26 at 12, 11, 59, 59, 59, 99. Possible, not possible. Date ही तो बोला. When did I tell you it has to be a full day? I said it should be for a period less than or equal to 12 months. Less than can also mean 1 day, can also mean 1 hour, can also mean all possible, सब possible है, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. Yes or no? 1 second, कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट नहीं होगी, वो अलग बात है. उसमें मैगी आता है खाली. ओके, मेरा मैगी कुछ और है, तुम लोग समझे नहीं, छोड़ दो. छोड़ बेटा. Clear? Yes. Point is, people, when it comes to previous year, I have no restrictions. The restriction is that it should be less than or equal to 12 months. Less than can mean any number of days, it does not matter. Which is why I'm clarifying to you that if a Companies Act comes and says after January, consolidate to next year, I would say I don't do it. I don't do it because for my previous year, that 1 day is also good enough. I will consider that as a previous year. I am never going to consolidate this financial year with the next financial year. Not possible. Absolutely not possible. I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to touch that because otherwise, what will happen? Sometimes it may happen that I may consolidate it 15 months and pay tax together. And in the next year, I will only pay tax for 12 months, which means it may be possible that 1 year I'm getting huge tax, other year I'm getting lesser tax. Consistency hits. And therefore, income tax said, no, I want 12 months, nothing more. You can be probably lesser. But notice right side is always same period. It is never going to change. It is never going to change. Correct? Yes. Now, people, imagine if I give you the question where I'm coming and saying the company was incorporated on 31st March 26. Yes. But after incorporation on 31st March 26, the company actually got shut down. The company actually got shut down. The company got shut down on 5th April 26. 5 दिन के लिए कंपनी थी. Yes, 5 days company. This is. Tell me my previous year. Tell me my assessment year. My assessment year, previous year is 31 3 26 to 31 3 26. My assessment year is मैंने कुछ भी नहीं बोला. कुछ नहीं बोला. मैं कुछ भी बोलता हूँ रे, तुम लोग क्या मानते हो? People, I told you on day one, I will always give you wrong answers. You have to pass. मैं पास हो गया. 5 4 5 4 एक बार के लिए मान के चलते हैं. 5 4 26 5 4 26. यस. ए रुको रे. ना लुक एट, मेरे को करने दो. पीपल, आई विल डू इट अच्छे से. यस. इंसल्ट बोल रहा हूँ. गंदे लोग. Tell me the next previous year. People, you are incorporated on 31st March. So 31st March, you have some income. Between 1st April to 5th April also you had income. Possible, not possible. Up 1st April to 5th April is also previous year. Next previous year. Yeah, some previous year. Get date. Next year का. Next year का date बताओ. Try. It's okay. Give it a shot. तुम जो भी बोलोगे गलत ही है, चलेगा. Hey, it's not for her. Everyone else. तुम लोग क्या दिखा रहे हो? 27 ना? 1st April 26 to 5/4/26 assessment year बताओ. हाँ 1st April कंपनी नहीं है क्या, 27 कहाँ से आ गया? तो वो तो लॉजिक तो वहां पे भी चलेगा ना. 5 April 26 क्यों है असेसमेंट ईयर में? Why did you put 5 April 26 here? टैक्स ही तो भरना है. People, tell me what is the assessment year for that year and assessment year for this year. Tell me the assessment year for incorporation, assessment year for dissolution. Give it a shot. It's okay. You're all learning. It's completely fine. तुम ऐसे कोई आज कोई सीए बन नहीं जाओगे, चलेगा. What is the date? What do you think is the right answer? 27. अच्छा ठीक है. हाँ ठीक है. 27 to 31st March 20. 31st March 28. I wanted to try this carefully and tell me. In the year of incorporation, you told my assessment year is only for 4 days. But in the year of dissolution, you're okay with the complete year. Meaning? मैं बोला ना मैं अच्छे से करूंगा. Anyone else change the dates? First one is approved. हाँ 31st March 27. अच्छा रुक रहे, ये भी अप्रूव्ड है. People, okay, let me put it this way to you. Ask yourself a simple question. Assessment year is the year in which I pay tax, but it's also the year in which the officer will look at my income and will come and confirm whether it is right or not. If you're coming on 1st April 27, when the company itself is not there, whom are you going to ask information? साल भर बाद. People understand. In the assessment year, you're coming and clarifying to me. Assessment year is the year in which you assess your tax, but it's also the year in which officer will assess your tax. Which means in that year, if he has some data clarifications, he has to reach out to you. Whom is he going to reach out? Company तो नहीं है. Company has been shut down 1 year ago itself. You're telling 1st April 27. Company is already shut down like 1 year ago. माँ कंपनी शट डाउन, एनसीएलटी केम, अप्रूवल दे दी, खत्म हो गया सब. उसके ऊपर हंस रहे थे तुम. दिखाओ. ये भी गलती है ना, लग रहा है ना. Yes. People, you see a practical issue. The practical issue is that if the company gets shut down on a subsequent year, assessment year will take a hit. Because my company is not even there for assessing. Yes or no? Yes. In that case, people tell me, if I'm an assessing officer, I would like to play safe. I will go to the liquidator and come and say, dear liquidator, you better do not shut down the company before I confirm to you. Because if there is some tax payment, I would like my tax first, then only you should shut down. Hey, when will all this happen? During liquidation time. Which means at this stage, I will go to the liquidator and come and say, dear liquidator, you're planning to sell all the assets, you're going to recover money, you're going to shut down the company. Before you shut down the company, this money has to go to someone. Whom it has to go to? Shareholders. Money has to go to shareholders, but before this money goes to shareholders, a part of this money is mine. A part of this money is mine because it is tax. You do one thing: sell the assets, get the money, first to pay my tax, first to pay, then give it off to the shareholders, and then you can shut down the company. Which means shutdown will not happen on 5th April. If shutdown is happening on 5th April, I will say 4th April, first to pay me the money, then only shut down. Upon 4th April, I will have to play active role. Who am I? Income tax department. I'll have to play an active role. I'll have to go and tell the liquidator, dear liquidator, till 4th April, this is the incomes he has earned. This is the tax he's supposed to pay. Pay that first, then only I'll give you the liquidation. Then only I'll give you the liquidation, which means technically for the income which is earned up to 4th April, I will confirm the tax on 4th April itself. Once again, for the income which is earned on 4th April, I will confirm the tax on 4th April itself, which means in this scenario, my previous year and my assessment year is the very good, is my same, which means if my previous year is 1st April 26, my assessment year is also correct. Correct. Yes. In this scenario, I will go to him and come and say, boss, my previous year and assessment year will become the same, because if it does not become the same, I will be trapped. So you first tell me what is the income. I will confirm you today itself how much to pay. Before that, do not shut down. Do not shut down. I will not approve the liquidation itself. Which means when you learn in people, when you go to Companies Act and you learn liquidation rules will come and say, as a liquidator, whatever money you get, they will tell you an order of priority. They will take first, it will go to secured creditors. First, it will go to secured creditors. Then it will go to someone called workmen compensations. After all that gets over, it will then go to income tax department. Then it will go to unsecured creditors, and finally will go to shareholders. Which means when income tax department is in third place, income tax has to confirm also how much to pay. When is he confirming this? In the previous year. He's confirming in the previous year, which means technically what she said was right. Even here the answer is 5th April 26, because in that date I will have to go and tell the liquidator, dear liquidator, 2 years are in question, last year also, current year also. Last year ka tax itna hai, current year ka tax itna hai, I want both. You better pay me both, then only I will let you shut down. Then only I will let you shut down. Which means on 5th April, when he's shutting down, he has to pay me all my taxes which are pending, not just for this year, also for past years. Also for correct, not correct. Any doubts on this part? Yes, this is an exception rule. Generally, previous year and assessment year are, however, in some cases, previous year and assessment year can become the case number one. Business is going to discontinue. Business is going to discontinue. People think of similar examples. Tell me what other examples can you think of where I would like to collect my tax first, then only let you close. वही तो liquidation है. हैं? बात तो वही है. People forget company, think other scenarios where I would like to first collect your tax, then only let you do the transaction. What will you do? Don't die, give me tax first. मैं उसको बोल, I will go to the deathbed and come and say, बेटा पहले रुक जाओ, पहले मरो मत, पहले टैक्स. मरने के बाद कहां से टैक्स देगा वो? Scam. What is scam? Hey, people, wait. क्या स्कैम मतलब क्या समझना मैं? इट्स नॉट लाइक फिलिंग द ब्लैंक्स, मेरे को भरना है क्या? स्कैम मतलब क्या? No, and the school they'll teach you. No, I'll give you some words, make sentence. 3, 4 synonyms you'll throw. I will have to make English. People think about a scenario. Imagine Rahul is planning to leave India. Rahul is planning to leave India. Rahul is going to run away. Hey, if Rahul is going to run away, income tax department gets to know. It will become very difficult for department to catch me later on. What will department do? He will come and say, if you're leaving India, first you pay all the taxes, settle everything, and then go. and then go. Now you may come and ask Rahul, how will he get to know? Correct. Hey, when you apply for visa, you need to confirm your reason. When you're applying for visa, you need to confirm your reason for departure. When you confirm your reason for departure, they will give validity based on that. If you say I'm going permanently, he'll give you a permanent visa. If you say I'm only going for a visit and all, he'll give you temporary visa. Imagine if I come and say I'm going permanently. Immediately, what will airport authority do? They will inform income tax department. They will say, sir, this guy is coming and saying he's leaving India permanently. You first get me a no objection certificate. What certificate? Basically, the person will have to get a no objection certificate from income tax department confirming saying I am ready to leave India after paying all my taxes. Until you give that certificate, they will not issue the visa to you. They will not issue the visa. Correct? Not correct? Yes. Up, I am coming in telling scenario number two. When an individual leaves India, no intention of coming back. No intention of coming back. Any doubts on this part? Yes. Third, people imagine the scenario. We have something stupid called AOPBY, where I told you AOPBY is basically random thing. One of the days, every one of us comes together. We do a business. We go home. We go. Correct? Not correct? Imagine this example, people. Five of my friends. We have decided we will go and we will open a lemonade stand. Kya stand? Lemonade stand. Five people have come together. We have decided we will open a lemonade stand, and we said we will not decide who will get how much profit. Who will? We were like, अपना ही तो भाई है, देख लेंगे. Yes, with अपना ही भाई, we did not decide the share of profit, which means we are not a partnership firm. Now, people, lemonade stand we are opening, startup idea. We'll do it for 5 years. Do it for one summer season only. Correct? Huh? So in the summer season, I opened, five friends of us. We opened a lemonade stand. We have sold some lemonade juice. We have sold some lemonade juice. 5 months we ran. After 5 months, winter season came. We said, shut down. We said, shut down. People, in this 5 months, we have earned 5 crores. Hey, Rahul does not talk peanuts. Rahul talks crores. Rahul को करोड़ी आता है. Yes, Rahul got 5 crores. Now, people, understand this carefully. This 5 crores which was earned in the lemonade stand, did Rahul earn alone? Everyone together earned. Now, business is shut down. AOP gone. Tomorrow, assessing officer comes in assessment year, comes and says, dear AOP, I want tax. He goes to Rahul. Rahul comes and says, Rahul did not earn 5 crores. मेरे को तो मिला भी नहीं. Did not get money also. I trusted my friends. I said, भाई ये तो अपना. भाई took and left. So Rahul has no money. Rahul will not pay tax. Rahul said, go catch other four. Other four come and say, sir, हमें क्या पता? We thought Rahul only will collect money. राहुल के पास भी मनी नहीं है, हमारे पास भी मनी नहीं है. We don't have money. No money. No tax. No money. मेरे को पता था, मैं पॉज इसलिए दिया. Yes or no? Yes. People, imagine in this scenario, it becomes a very risky thing because AOPBOI is a very fragile thing. You can start today, you can end today. In those kind of scenarios, I'll come and say it is better to not let them shut down. First, pay the tax, then only let them shut down. In which case, in the 5th month, assessing officer will go and say, oh, you have an AOP, you first pay all the taxes, then only I will let you shut down the lemonade stand. Then only I'll let you shut down the lemonade stand. Correct? Correct? Scenario number 4. Scenario number 4. People, imagine I am a foreign ship. Kya ship? Foreign ship. Foreign ship is coming to India, collecting passengers, going out of India. Risk क्या है? People, risk is two. One, it's a ship. Safety is not guaranteed. Safety is not guaranteed. I want my tax. उसको क्या हो, मेरे को क्या करना है? Yes or no? So income tax department will come and say, my dear foreign ship, once you come to India and you collect Indian passengers, you have earned income from India. So you should pay tax in India. But if you leave India and go, I will not know where to catch you. I will not know where to catch you. Better pay and then leave. Better pay and then leave. Correct? Not correct? Correct? Not correct? Any doubts? Yes. 4 scenarios, people. Scenario number 1, business is shut down. Scenario number 2, I am leaving India. No intention of coming back. Scenario number 3, I am shutting down an AOP BOI. Scenario number 4, foreign ship coming to India, leaving India, leaving India. And scenario number 5, people, imagine Rahul is running a business. Rahul has made 50 crores in the business. Income tax department comes and says, Rahul के पास 50 crores tax तो मेरे को चाहिए. Now Rahul is like 50 crores नहीं दूंगा. Yes. Now the problem is people, as long as Rahul has money, Rahul will have to pay tax. So what happened? No, before assessment year started, Rahul decided to do one thing. Rahul took all his assets, all his income, all his cash, and ran away. तो हो गया first scenario. Spent 50 करोड़ है people. कहाँ उड़ाऊंगा मैं? इतना तो 6,000 भी नहीं है. छुपा दिया. Huh? Not required. People, I can be very smart. I can go and I can come and say, who has to pay tax? Rahul. Only if Rahul has the money, Rahul will pay tax. So what Rahul did? Rahul took all the 50 crores and Rahul gifted it to his brother. Rahul gifted it to his brother, which means owner of 50 crores is brother. Rahul ke paas no income. Rahul ke paas no income. Assessing officer comes to Rahul, comes and says, Rahul, pay tax. I'm like, sir, no money. No. He's like, but Rahul, you gave it to brother. No. I'm like, yes, sir. I am an individual. He's an individual. His income alag, mera income alag. Mera tax nahi hai. I don't have money to pay tax. Therefore, I am safe. I am safe. And the beauty of income tax is, people, income tax says, when I give anything to my brother is also not taxable. My brother is also not taxable. Matlab 50 crores went to my brother. Rahul has no money. Rahul will pay no tax. Brother receives 50 crores. Brother will say, I will also not pay any tax. दोनों को no tax. Correct? No. Correct? No. Correct? No. It looks like proper tax avoidance. Looks like proper tax avoidance. People, you remember Companies Act? Companies Act had a concept called lifting of corporate wheel. Lifting of corporate wheel comes and says one condition: when you transfer your assets with an intention to evade tax, uh, when you transfer assets with an intention to evade tax, welcome to my subject. Yes, income tax says in that case, Companies Act says lifting of corporate wheel. I will start questioning the directors or the shareholders. Income tax will say, because you're selling all your assets, better to pay my tax, then sell your assets. Then sell your assets. But Rahul, तुमने तो already दे दिया. You already gave it off to the brother. No, income tax said you did not ask my approval. Because you did not ask my approval, I will assume this transfer was void ab initio. This transfer was void ab initio, which means it was assumed that this transfer never. Very good. Yes or no? So 5 scenarios are given to you, people. Theory question for your exam. How does previous year assessment year become the scenario 5? Shutting down of business or profession. Individual leaving India, no intention of. Scenario number 3. AOPBOI discontinued in the current year. Scenario number 4. Foreign ship coming to India, leaving India, leaving India. Scenario number 5. Transferring my assets with an intention to evade. Very good. 5 scenarios given to you. 5 scenarios given to you. Any doubts on this? No. Now, people, in direct tax, you technically have no theory questions. Don't shut down. तुम्हें लिखना है notes रुको. Yes, in direct tax, you technically have no theory questions except for the last one. Yes, in direct tax, you'll be given 4 questions. 4th question is a theory question. The only good news for you is in direct tax, there are only 5 theory questions. There are only 5 theory questions. If you mug up the 5 theory questions, 6 marks guaranteed. One of the theory question is 5 scenarios, people. Previous year assessment year should become the business or profession discontinued in the previous year. Individual leaving India, no intention of coming back. AOPBOI shutting down in the current year. Foreign ship coming to India, leaving India. Transfer of assets, no intention to pay tax. No intention to pay tax. Five adjustments, 4 mark question in your exam. 4 mark question in your exam. Now, people, I am not very good with theory. Yes, आज तुम्हें याद है कल भूल जाओगे. Yes, so I always prefer to remember written stories. I always prefer to remember written stories. Let me make a small story. We close for the day. Yes, the story is very simple. The story is very simple. People, I am going to become the most honest person of India. Mr. 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 Vijay. I'm going to become the most honest person of India, Mr. Vijay Mallya. I'm going to give you his life lesson. Yes, his life lesson was amazing. Kuch nahi. Mr. Vijay Mallya has been running a company called as Kingfisher. At a certain point of time, Kingfisher is doing amazingly well. He has enough money in hand. Enough money in hand. That is the day when you get crazy. Yes. So he went extremely crazy. For those who know, in India, once there was something called F1 racing. Mr. Vijay Mallya had bought a team there. Mr. Vijay Mallya had bought a team there. So what happened is Mr. Vijay Mallya decided that he wanted to enter into F1 racing. So he put all his money into F1 team. Yes. The only problem is people, F1 is not a cheap game. Takes takes crores, takes crores. Now people problem what happened? He did not have enough money. So therefore he called one of his friends. He called one of his friends. Back in those days, people, there was another Modi, not this Modi, another Modi, Mr. Nirav Modi. Yes, two biggest scammers of India. Biggest scammers of India. Nirav Modi scammed on diamonds. Vijay Mallya scammed on airports. Scammed on airports. Yes. So what happened? Mr. Vijay Mallya goes to Nirav Modi, comes and says, "Dear Nirav Modi, let's shake hands and together buy a F1 team. Together buy an F1 team." Now notice people, they are shaking hands, which means they are creating an AOP BOI. Individuals only know, which means they're shaking hands, they're creating an AOP BOI. Correct, not correct. Yes. Now people, they have shaken hands, they have fought an F1 team. They bought an F1 team. At a certain point of time, Mr. Vijay Mallya decided he will put all his money into it, including Kingfisher money. Including Kingfisher money. And that was the day of devastation because they lost the game. They lost the game. F1 team lost the game. Vijay Mallya is now in huge debts. Huge debts. Now you and I are going to be very honest, which means we are going to run away. Right? So what Vijay Mallya decided, you know what, too many debts in my hand, don't have enough money, let's run away from India. Let's run away from India. But people, to run away, you need money. You need money. You need money. So what happened? Vijay Mallya said, whatever business I have in India, I'm going to shut them down and I'm going to collect money. People, now he has two businesses right now. One is F1 team. So first he will shut down F1, collect some money. Second, he will shut down Kingfisher. He will collect some money. Now, people, Kingfisher is a company. You shut down by selling. You shut down by selling assets. Yes or no? No, no. Yes. Once again, people, Mr. Vijay Mallya comes and buys an F1 team by shaking hands with Nirav Modi. F1 team made losses. Vijay Mallya decides to leave India. To leave India, he decides to do three things. One, he will shut down F1. He will shut down Kingfisher. Before shutting down Kingfisher, he will sell all his. Very good. He will sell all his assets. Now, people, Vijay Mallya has some enough money. He decides to leave India. Now, he has to leave India. He can't swim and go. So, therefore, he calls Air India and he says, I want flight. Air India says, hey, you are my competitor. No flight for you. He goes to Indigo. Indigo says, Kaun hai tu? Not allowed. Then he goes to SpiceJet. SpiceJet says, no. Yes, which means all flights have decided Vijay Mallya will not be given a seat. At this stage, he has no other option but to buy a ship. Buy a ship. Yes or no? Yes. Now, people, problem is he can't buy a ship from India. He can't buy a ship from India. So he calls his friend Mr. Doraemon. Yes, he calls his friend Mr. Doraemon and comes and says, dear Doraemon, bring a from Japan. From now, don't come and ask Rahul. Doraemon के पास तो anywhere door है. I know. This is my story. मेरी story में any characters are fine. Any characters are fine. So I call Mr. Doraemon, tell him bring ship to India. Yes, Doraemon comes, brings a ship to India. Vijay Mallya sits on the ship. Tata India. Tata India. Yes or no? Yes. Now, people, this is the story. Moral of the story: 5 scenarios. Moral of the story: 5 scenarios. People, I first shut down F1. AOP, BOI shut down in this year. I shut down my Kingfisher business, discontinued in this year. To shut down Kingfisher, I sold all my assets, selling of assets, no intention of paying tax. Call my friend Doraemon. Doraemon brings a ship, foreign ship coming to India. I sit on the ship, leave India, individual, moving out of India, no intention of. Very good. Yes. So the story gives you the answer. 5 scenarios for you. 5 scenarios for you. First scenario, shutting down F1, which means AOP, BOI discontinued in the previous year. Scenario 2, shutting down Kingfisher, business or profession discontinued in the previous year. Third, selling of Kingfisher assets, sale of assets with no intention of paying tax, calling my friend Doraemon, foreign ship, coming to India, leaving India, and finally boarding the ship and leaving, individual leaving India, no intention of. Very good. These are the five scenarios for you. Any doubts on the five scenarios? No. People, you will get a homework for today. Homework is आपके notes में you will find this last make empty space. If you notice, the five scenarios we discussed is here. The five scenarios we discussed is here. What are you going to do? You're going to put an asterisk mark here and you're going to make your story here. Yes, I'm not good with my stories. You prepare your story. तुम्हें डोरेमोन चाहिए, तुम्हें जो चाहिए चलेगा. Yes, तुम्हें जो मजा आए, तुम्हें जॉनी सिंसियर रख लो. Yes, you put your stories and you get an answer here. Yes, shh, listen. You're gonna prepare a story, put it here, refer it to the previous example. Refer it to the previous example. You will read the story for your exams. Easy 4 marks. Easy 4 marks. Make your life simpler, people. Don't mug up theory. Not in my subject at least. Yes, so let's make it simple. Let's read it off. Next class ke pehle, you will read this full chapter and come. Yes, I am officially done with chapter. तुम्हें पता भी नहीं चला चैप्टर हो गया. Yes, indirectly हम लोग ने कहीं कहीं पे notes रख के सारा chapter खत्म कर दिया. We have done with the whole chapter. The only one thing pending is the income definition. We will discuss next class. Yes, उसके अलावा chapter is done. Go through the chapter. Ignore only one part, the part of income. If you notice, there is a part called column E. Ignoring this part, you will read every single thing and come. Next class, I will mark some notes. Before I start marking, you will read and come. Don't sit and stare on my book saying that Rahul क्या पढ़ा रहा है. Read and come. Understand where what is. Get comfortable with the book, people. Are we making sense? Once again, जोर से. Thank you, people. Have a good day.